it's your girl Stels. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for tuning in. Today is a story time. Please like this video, share this video, recommend to your friends, your mom friends, your your female friends, your male friends. Anybody can learn from it. 2 videos away from now, I spoke about things you should know when trying to get a help or a nanny, and I promised in that video I was going to share my experience. So that's what I'm going to do now. It's a story time, guys. So actually, I had to contact my friends who had nannies to help me with their agents. So that was how I was able to get this first person I worked with. The first problem I had with her was food. And that is because we did not discuss the idea of food from the beginning, you know. That was one of the things. I'm trying to tell you the things I should have done. We did not discuss the idea of food from the beginning. I'm a very open person. Anybody can go into my kitchen and take food, you know. But what I usually do is when I cook meals, I would like to dish for my husband, myself. I don't really bother much about her. So I felt like, okay, this person coming into the house, at least you just make 1 or 2 before I return, you know, then we make dinner. I always have a carton of Indomie at home, carton of spaghetti, and thereabouts. So I didn't know that things were going down, you know. It's more like, oh, either I send her to buy bread in the morning or my husband gives her money to buy bread in the morning, and there's always egg at home. There is always bama, butter, Nutella, things that you can just, there's cereal that you can actually just make and eat. There are usually biscuits at home as well. So I didn't know that this lady was a devourer. Imagine cooking 3 noodles, and we eat Indomie onion, the expensive one, you know. So imagine eating 3 Indomie with egg, all those kind of, you know, luxury consumption, and I didn't know any of this. My husband just complained one morning that, didn't we just buy bread? You know, that the bread is finished. I was like, my mom doesn't eat this kind of bread. My mom eats wheat. So obviously, if you're not the one eating it, it has to be, let me give a name. It has to be Caro. It has to be Caro, you know. So I just left it for a while, and I just realized that even the Indomie carton that we bought was almost, I took her phone and I went through her WhatsApp, because she's a social media person, she's this, she's that, a young girl, she's just 23 years, you know. So I checked her WhatsApp, and the first chat I saw was with her and a friend of hers, which later said was her cousin, and she was telling that one how she likes my house, she likes this place, that she eats as she pleases. I was even elated, at least she has good things to say, that she eats as she pleases, and nobody stresses her and all that. Okay, that was a good report, but I now realized that she really eats as she pleases. So I had to call her attention to say, okay, see, the economy is not smiling. You cannot just be eating as you please. Do you understand? You have to also consider the fact that we are paying you salary. It's not as if you are just on vacation and you're just eating and lounging, because she doesn't really do anything major. Just sweep the house, wash the dishes, carry the baby when my mom needs to maybe rest, or when my mom is actually the caregiver of the baby, you know. Then go to the market, stuff I used to get for her, bathing soap, toothpaste, so many of all these personal effects I used to get for her. So she started taking it for granted and demanding it, you know. Started taking it for granted and demanding it, and she was now being rude. The way she spoke to me, more like she's speaking to her mates, you know. If I correct her, she would keep malice. She would not talk to me, and I was like, someone is giving malice with me in my own house. Hey, Jesus. She would keep malice. She would not talk to me. She did not like to be corrected at all. And when you're correcting her, she will not even apologize, and she doesn't like to be corrected. That's just the major issue I had with her, you know. So, because the lie was back to back, you know. She quarreled with a lot of people in my area. You send her, go and buy something from person A. She would not go to person A, she would go to person B. And even when she go to person B, she would quarrel with the person. She liked to price stuff. Like, you tell her, go and buy this for 500. Because she wants to like get a little change from it, she will price it. If you don't sell it to her, she will insult you. You know, a lot of people sell it, and my market is very close to my house. I know a lot of the women selling there. And they always report her to me and said, see, mind this, talk to this your sister. We don't like the way she talks, so this one, that one. So I just used to talk to her about it. I said, see, human relationship is very important. Have you ever gone to any of these women and they talk bad about me? Because I'm always diplomatic when I even want to bargain. You don't just go and rubbish people's market because they are selling and you're buying. So that aside, what even broke the camel's back was that day, funny enough, I gave her some clothes again, my natives, because I hadn't brought those natives out in a long time. So we were praying for church on Sunday. My mom had already gone. My mom doesn't stay weekend. Mom had already gone to stay with my dad. So on Saturday, I'd already brought out the clothes that I would wear to church on Sunday, and I just realized that I even have a whole bag of natives that don't fit me anymore. So I brought them out. I gave it to her. She selected the ones she liked, and that was it. So the Sunday morning, time to go to church again now. I felt, I don't know, something just came over me. I just told her to go and buy, I forgot what I asked her to buy, but I sent her to the supermarket to buy something. And her phone beeped, I took her phone and I checked her phone. The same person she was chatting with about her that she's usually catered for and she can eat anything she likes, the same girl. So I was scrolling through their chats and I saw my mom's picture. My mom was tying wrapper because, she's in her daughter's house. She was tying wrapper sitting down. And I saw my mom's picture. She sent it to the girl. I was like, what exactly is going on here? I started going through the chats and she was like, see the old woman that is disturbing my life. I don't want to kill somebody. If I want to kill somebody, I would have gotten rid of her, And I'm like, wait, hold up. What is going on here? What is all of this? And I started scrolling up to check the previous messages, and she was telling the girl that my mom doesn't allow her rest, that if my mom was not around, in fact, she would have just been faffing, that my mom used to send her on countless errands, she used to monitor her too much, and all that. And I said, so why would you now resort to, if I want to kill somebody, you don't want to kill somebody? That was a very, very harsh tone, and I can't even joke with things like that. So I called her attention. I said, what is this? When she came back from, I said, what is this? Why will you send this? She's like, I went through her message. I said, yes, your phone beeped and something in me asked me to check, and this is what I saw. Please, I'm sorry, you cannot stay with me anymore. Anybody that wants to endanger the life of any of my family members has to go. If I had wanted to be cruel to you, I would have called the police on you, because this is a threat to life. I would have called the police for you and you explain what you mean that by you don't want to kill. Have you killed before? She was like, Auntie, I've not killed before. I'm sorry, I will not do it again. I said, no. They're reading the previous messages you've been engaging with this person. I don't know who this person is. If this person is a hired assassin, you might not have any evil interest, but this person might have evil intentions. So I'm sorry, you have to go. So that was how she left that very day. It was a lot for me to take in. My husband was even saying that, why would this girl say such a thing? Not be she, you just give clothes yesterday. I was like, see me see wahala. So that one left. The second person that came into the house, unfortunately, I liked that girl. She came in from Ibadan. And because she came in so late, we couldn't run the test on her that day. So the next day, we went to run the test on her and we discovered she had hepatitis B. Now, hepatitis B, I don't know. I had to call my friends and like, no, she cannot stay with you because of your baby. If it was just you guys, fine, but because of your baby, she could not stay with you. And I really liked her because she was very respectful. She was very humble, she just liked my home. I just liked her as well. But she just spent one day. And because of the hepatitis B, I had to let her go because of my baby. So I explained to her, she cried, she said, that she just feels like, I was like, I'm sorry, I just paid her transport back to where she was coming from. And she left. Two gone. Then the third person. So the mistake I made there was, okay, like I said, I'll be pointing out the things I should have done. Now the first person, the mistake I made was not really talking about the food on time, although that was settled once I cleared the air. Talking about feeding and how I don't like wastage, because that lady used to waste my food as well, Then also about being obedient and being respectful is one of the things I should have spoken, because I hate disrespect, because I don't disrespect anybody, so I hate disrespect, So, and snapping my mom in that state and sending was a very, very wrong thing. That's why I just had to let her go. Apart from that, she did a good job when it comes to my baby and the house chores. So this other person had to go because of the health issue, and the mistake I made was not doing the test the same day she came, but because she came in late, that's why we couldn't do it anyways. So the third person, this was December of the same year of 2021, and I was in desperate need of someone, because my baby was already walking and everywhere, scratching everywhere. My mom is not as agile to be pursuing him. So I needed someone who is young and who is active. Everybody was telling me, get an elderly person. I said, I can't get an elderly person. I already have an elderly person in the house. I just need someone who can, be active, because my baby is active. So I got this girl. She was 19 years, and I got at the time that all of them were leaving. A lot of them like to travel for Christmas. She assured me that she would stay, not knowing that she was forced to stay by the agent that got her. The guy obviously wanted to make some quick money, because you have to pay. This is a different agents. So these people I brought in were different agents. So I had to pay them their own fees. So I think the man wanted to make quick money, and the girl also had the intention to travel, but she did not state it immediately. Because I drummed it into her. I said, see, madam, you cannot travel for Christmas, because my own job does not require me to be on holiday for Christmas, except just that Christmas day. So she agreed. And the next thing, I just realized that I will call her. Let me use Caro again as an example. Caro. This girl will be in the kitchen looking at me. As in, she just acted like a possessed person. Someone who was just possessed. She would stand in the kitchen and be looking at me like this. And I would be looking at her. I was like, actually hearing I'm calling you. Then she will not come. She will not say, see me here. It was like I carried my elder sister in the house. That's just how it felt. She would say, see me here. Initially, I was like, okay, maybe this one doesn't understand English or something. I just started. She has so many wigs. This 19-year-old girl, she had so many wigs in her back, so many short dresses. Me, when I was young, I loved wearing short dresses. So I didn't see it as a problem. Although my mom was like, why am I not correcting this girl to dress well and all that? Not as if it was like bomb short dresses, so just a little bit above knee length, which I felt it was okay. She's a young girl, she wants to dress well. I can't stop her from doing that. That was what I felt anyways. So what I asked her, okay, during the interview, I asked her, why did you leave your former place of work? She said they had a misunderstanding. That's what she said. So all of a sudden I just said that this girl will just be quiet. She doesn't talk. She doesn't socialize with anybody. Even the baby I asked her to take care of, we'll be playing with her, and she'll be like, leave me. The first time I noticed it, it was my mom that noticed it. She was like, I see the person you brought to take care of Ikena, that she's not even interacting with Ikena, because my baby likes people. Not every time you get. So when the boy is trying to play with her, she's always like, leave me alone. She was like, that is it washing of plates she came to do? Because she will spend 1 hour. She will spend 1 hour washing plates. When she's having a bath, she will spend another extra 1 hour. I was like, how many bodies do you have? Is it not just the same body that you have? Do you have any extra special body again? Because this girl can stay so long in the bathroom. Sunday mornings especially, I would have to tell her to go and have a bath first before I bathe my baby, because if I bathe my baby and I have my bath, you have to hurry up so that we can go to church. So I usually ask her to have a bath before every other person. We have 2 bathrooms, but because of my mom is not around, so if she's bathing, I have to hold the baby, or if she's bathing, if I'm bathing, she has to hold the baby. So I usually ask her to bathe first so that I can hold the baby while she does that. So she takes too long to have a bath. So I was in the sitting room and I called her name. I went to the kitchen, she was not there. I went to the bathroom, she wasn't there. So I opened the bedroom door and I just saw her curled up, hands on the leg like this, curled up to one corner of the bed. This thing happened like 2 or 3 times, and I felt like something is wrong somewhere. My mom even complained that sometimes they'll be in the same room, she'll be talking to her, that the girl will be looking at her like with a very blank face, like she's not communicating. So there was a day she broke my dish in the kitchen, So I went to we have this passage before the kitchen. So I was at the passage and I called her, Caro, come here. Why you broke that? You broke the plates in the kitchen and you cannot pick it up, because she broke the plates and she continued washing us as if she didn't even flinch, So I heard it from the sitting room and I was walking towards. I was like, are you the one that broke that plate? She just turned and she was looking at me like this girl. I called her to come. She did not move an inch. She did not move an inch. She was just standing there. I just knew that something was wrong somewhere. So I called her and I said, what's the problem? Why are you behaving like this? Somebody will call you, you will not answer. I'm not even calling you to beat you. Or do you have trauma from your previous place you were working? Were they beating you? That's why she now confessed that yes, that the previous place she was working, the husband used to beat her. So she's always scared. I said, you don't have to be scared now. My husband is not even the kind of person that is violent. He doesn't even shout. Don't talk of beats. And me, my own is just to shout. Have I ever hit you before? She said no. I said, please clear this place. So later in the evening, and I called her attention. I said, okay, but is that the only thing that's a problem? Or don't you like this place you're staying? She now confessed that she likes the place she's staying, but she wanted to travel for Christmas, that the agent begged her to work with me, and that her mind is not here. She wants to go and all that. I said, oh, so is it Christmas that is your problem? I said, okay, no problems. Now I will call the agents to come and carry you. Abby? She said, yes. I said, is that what you want? You want to travel? She said, yes, she wants to travel. That she has been working for 4 years and they promised her she will learn tailoring, and because the money she earns doesn't go to her, it goes to her auntie, who now in turn gives the mom the money. So that's why I called the agent to come and carry her. It was when I now called the agent, because when we had the interview, I asked her, okay, what sent you away from the previous place? The agent said, she said that she had a misunderstanding with the madam of the house. So when I now called the agent now said I shouldn't mind her. That is because here she is. Because my house, once you enter, you've entered. If I send you to the market, I don't expect you to stay too long there. Do you understand? And I buy my things in bulk. I order things online. I buy things in bulk. So even if I'm sending you to the market, it's just to buy things to cook immediately. Before you will go to the market again, maybe it's like 2 or 3 days after. So the what is it called? The agent now asked me, is that do I actually let her go out? I said no, and he said that's the problem, that the previous place she worked, she had a relationship with the shawarma guy, and she was caught. So she doesn't have freedom here, and because my mom is always around, she cannot go out. I said, so even if my mom is not around, you even go out with the baby, or you leave a baby and go out, So that was how I just let her go. I just let her go. Then we got this last person that is currently with me. She is going to stay for a year as well, and she's going to leave in December. Us as well. So that's my ordeal with these nannies. Alright, if you stayed to the end of this video, you're the real MVP. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. See you in the next one. We'll talk about all things household very soon. So thank you for tuning in again. Bye.